Alright, let's see. So yeah, yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to Mapland and yeah, so like that's pretty much what it is, right, Todd? Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
Okay, just gotta chime in a little
But
sooner.
like,
Uh, what was the
yeah,
question?
yeah, no, it's fine.
What was the question again? Oh yeah, yeah, we're on. This is Mapland, I guess. Is that what? That's what we're
Yeah,
calling it, right? Mapland. This is
yeah,
Mapland.
yeah, we took too much Xanax today. We're gonna be the most boringest live stream ever. So
Not
like,
me.
yeah,
I
like
didn't.
we need
Yeah.
need yeah,
No.
like so like uh, I got the topics ready. Hold on.
Mhm.
Let me just get the notebook real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta get the handy dandy notebook. Uh. Oh yeah, I think I already like talked about this, but don't you guys find it weird that like how New Zealand shooting makes the right wingers look mentally ill?
But a lot of them are mentally ill.
Yeah, I know,
What I
but
love,
like,
what I love is how they can play both sides against the middle. Like they'll go, uh, "Oh, it's not a gun problem; it's a mental illness problem," and then, like, 95% of them are freaking mentally ill. It's like, yeah,
well, I mean, it is a mental problem. People who are blaming that on the guns is usually the news and
no,
all that stuff.
yeah,
But they,
I'm not disagreeing with that. I own guns, and Rusty owns guns. We're
like, think of it,
I
a
don't actually.
million
I
lives gone.
Rusty
I don't.
doesn't. You
I
know,
only own one gun. I trade guns and sell
yeah, he
those
trades
guns.
guns. Sorry, is what I meant. Um. Well, anyway,
I
we're
think
not.
you beautify,
I'm
just
not anti-gun. I'm not
yeah.
anti-gun, but I'm anti-idiocy. And there's a lot of people who have guns who shouldn't. And
You
the
see?
laws are pretty lax, especially here in the South. Like the laws on gun laws are really lax, and people can get guns when they're not supposed to be able to get them. And I mean, I could go. I have a whole story from my life I could tell, but about that, but I'm not going to because, um, yeah,
But I mean, it's hypocritical though. I mean, like, here's the thing, right? All the antis and right wingers are
mm,
saying that maps are mentally ill. Meanwhile, like one of the right wingers does a fucking shooting in New Zealand,
yeah,
all just because of
yeah.
their
Like we have
political
a
views.
sexuality we don't act on, and somehow like the people like this guy Gellion or whatever that you're calling me, like they're
Somehow a
cool.
right wing's up a fucking like
Yeah,
place, like
somebody kills a bunch of kids. Oh well, it's whatever. Shit happens. Like we exist, have sexuality, don't act on it. Oh my God, you're terrible. Like, you should be destroyed. I mean, it's like it's we're not even doing anything. We're just existing, and we're monsters. And yet, people who go off in the name of their of fucking uh, you know the white power and shit like that, or they're going off and they're killing people, like actually killing people, but somehow that's okay. People got their priorities mixed up. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, it's okay because you're protecting the kids, but in reality you're not. Like
What?
Yeah, you know, we got. No, I just said. No, I just said in reality, you're in reality they're not protecting the kids. Like you said earlier, like they don't care about the kids though.
No, they don't. It's true, they don't. Most of the anti shit that happens, that them harassing us and stuff, has nothing to do with kids. Nothing at all. Maybe 10% of them, maybe 10% of them are actually doing
Yeah,
it.
but here's the thing. I heard like this fucking one guy called General Tiberius. I used to be friends with him, but this guy was a fucking anti, and he started fucking just tearing this kid apart, and he's like 14 to 15.
Yeah, and that's the
And
thing.
like
They'll attack.
and guess what? He start this. Yeah, but here's the thing though. This 14 and 15-year-old was not a pedophile, and yet, you know, General Tiberius still just fucking ripped on him though.
Yeah, because it's pedophilia.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's not the people who do all of the most of the attacking. A lot of them are repressed pedos themselves. It's projection. They're hiding. They're hiding behind projection. And for the
I mean, he wanted that guy dead. I mean, he wanted that kid dead.
And for the rest of them, it's just, we are this. I've said it before. I'll say it again. We are the scapegoats du jour. We're the people. Like every generation has their scapegoats that it's okay to beat up on. And for this generation, we're it. We're easy targets. We don't have the legal protections that other minorities have. And it's easy to say, oh, you're all criminals, you're all this, and build up the straw man to attack. But that's what they did with the Jews too. They built a straw man. Nazi Germany, they built a straw man. Blood libel, all that bullshit.
Oh, Ross, I forgot. I'm trying to record the audio off this as practice for something else. That's okay because it's live in public, right?
I don't know where.
Yeah, it's live in public.
It's live
in public.
Yeah,
I'm trying to record it off Google Hangouts, so like,
okay.
It's live in yeah. I mean, it's
all good.
Yeah, so you might want to tone down the swearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably tone down the swearing. We both.
Wait, record it to what?
To an audio file.
Wait, like
Yeah.
Remember, kitties. Don't say
what?
Don't say the N-word.
I'm recording it to an MP3 file for practice for our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, so did Naruto die in the end on Avengers? And I said yes, and Mark said no. And you can't prove either one of them because
hey, Mark, what's going on?
I know Naruto's not an Avengers character. I'm just fucking around. Okay. Anyway.
Hey guy, hey Japanese text guy, Map and Mark Map.
Mark,
what's going on? And
talked with us last.
Dude, someone just commented. Lol, pedos calling Republicans.
Oh no, that's been.
Even though,
Yeah, no, that's been up there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, they're totally not mentally ill, even though they shot up a place in New Zealand.
It's just they're trying to and I actually didn't call Republicans anything. I called the far right. The far right is not synonymous with Republican. Yeah, he just deleted the message. Hilarious. Okay. Anyway. Oh, you delete it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No. Yeah, I'm just moderating the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, don't.
You guys should be mods as well, but I'm just
Leave the comments up unless they're just really vile and insulting. You delete them, but I I don't mind.
I wanted to escalate though. I don't want it to escalate to the point where like they spam the.
Yeah, that's true. Don't spam us. But if you have criticism, like that's fine. Just be respectful. Like we can deal with.
Just don't be a fucking spammer, really.
Just don't be an asshole. You
Don't
know?
be a spamming retard.
Don't.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Stop with the. You know.
Well, I mean, like, is that true? I mean, people who, they do that.
What?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, they do that. They just like slap on their keyboards, like, and then just like afterwards, like press enter over and over again.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
that's not unique or funny at all or anything like that. Like not even like if you're trolling a lol guy, you don't just go and just spam in the chat. Like it's really a-loggy. But yeah, anyways.
It's an easy way to get attention and screw shit up without having to put a lot of effort. So trolls love to do stuff like that.
It's a way to censor freedom of speech. Really.
Well, that too. But anyway.
Yeah, it's like that'll fuck. Yeah.
Let's get to the topics. What are the questions?
I got another topic. Is pretty much would you rather have would someone rather have a stream where they would rather have several unique different personalities or one and the same?
What? I don't get the question.
Meaning that, like, if there's if there's a stream out there that there's a stream with several different unique personalities, pretty much, would you rather watch that or would you rather watch the same personalities?
I don't know. I don't really have an answer to that. Wait, let's see. Wait, somebody made a comment. Let's look at that. John Mark Carr, guy who says he killed John Bonet, says pedo should be castrated. Thoughts. Okay. Well, we know he didn't kill her. He just wanted to get attention. He wasn't I think he wasn't even in the country at the time she was killed. Like, I remember when that whole thing came up.
Yeah.
He was in Japan or something. Like, he wasn't even in the Yeah. Irony of ironies. But he, I think he doesn't he had like a criminal history of molestation or something, or child porn use or something. He has some kind of sex offense under his record. So
Jesus.
He's saying pedos should be castrated. Like, is he including himself in that, or just
maybe it's because he wants to collect them. That's why.
And he's just trying to say he's not. Like, he's trying to deny. I don't know. Hitler. You both should be killed. Fuck you, Hitler.
Yeah, but didn't you kill yourself though? I mean.
Yeah, for you, Hitler.
Hitler. I mean, yeah, like he killed himself. So
Jesus. There's a troll who's calling himself Hitler. Who's got.
Want me to moderate it or no?
Let it go for a while. I'm just gonna, let's see.
I mean, there's several different other topics as well.
Yeah.
Let me see what else. Other than the New Zealand shit, and my notepad froze. All right, why do people support maps? This is actually a good one.
Yeah, go ahead and remove it. Hitler wannabe character. Yes. He has no reason to be in here.
Hold on, let me just do this real quick.
Yeah. Well, I didn't kill millions of Jews. That's how. He asked me how I sleep at night. Coward. Yeah.
I mean,
you're the one hiding behind a anonymous, like, pretending like you're Hitler. You're calling me a coward. I put my face, I put my name out there. You're calling me a coward. Yeah, Yeah, whatever, dude. You come out and as who you actually are, and then we'll talk about courage. As far as I'm concerned, because you making fun of me for being a coward, calling me a coward, is absurd.
Of course he's spamming now, but I just got rid of him, so that's good.
Yeah,
Hey
yeah. But
Mark, what's
I
going
love
on,
these
man?
people calling me a coward, and then like they're hiding behind their Adolf Hitler avatars. Gotta love the irony. Whatever, man.
Mark's here.
Hey, Mark.
Hey Todd, hey Rusty.
How are
Hey,
you?
Ross.
How are you doing?
Good. I just got out of the Avengers movie.
So you
I
finally
loved it.
seen
I thought it was finally saw it. I wanted to see it when I was in Boston, but
Yeah.
I didn't have time. So,
Yeah.
but I had a day off from like work today, so I was like, I'm gonna watch it today. Why not?
Yeah. Well,
And now
me and Gabe and Rusty had a conversation about it already on our
yeah.
thing.
Why?
I'm
Wait,
gonna
wait.
like
Why
listen.
doesn't Gabe come on here?
I don't know. He doesn't want.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because well, maybe he will now. He's got that voice disorder. He might.
he's famous, right?
Is
Oh
he?
yeah, Gabe
Yeah.
Newell, Gabe Gibson.
No.
No, not him. You're talking about Gary Gibson. Not saying.
Oh wait, no,
Not,
that's not Gabe. It's Gary, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Gary. You're talking about that's somebody completely different.
But no, Ross had a question. Can you go ahead and re-ask that question?
So like, do people? All right. Let me just read this real quick.
Yeah.
Nope. Confusing. Why do people support maps? People support maps.
Why do people support maps?
Because
Yeah.
we deserve to be supported, and actually, it's in society's interest to support us because when they don't, when they just treat us like shit and try to suppress us and everything, and they just push us underground, where maps are more likely to offend. So that's if you really care about kids, you want to help maps because cartography is an industry. That's good. Yeah.
That's a good point, though, Todd. The fact that like when you don't have anybody, when you're isolated and alone, that's like when you're the most vulnerable.
Absolutely. And it's a known fact. There's been studies that show that when people are isolated, dealing with depression, anxiety, um, you know, temptation, where they don't have somebody else to talk to, like fatalism, like all of these things.
All right. Here's the thing: the more temptation there is, the more likely they'll offend. I mean,
Yeah, and
and that's the thing, right? And instead of it, I watched this one thing. It's to where like it's really important that we understand it more than we just hate on it and just like because the more hatred there is on that subject, the more there's gonna be the more it's gonna happen, the
yeah,
more
demonizing maps
etc.
pushes them underground and makes them fatalistic, makes them not care as much, or it makes them isolated where they don't have any support. I mean, those are all things that can contribute to offending. If these people really cared about kids, they would be willing to help maps to not offend instead of just. But that's not what it's about for most of them. Like I said,
Yeah, it's not about the kids really. I mean,
yeah, this
there's
person
already too much proof why.
he just keeps creating new accounts or something, or he's got multiple accounts. So he keeps calling me Toad, Ribbit, whatever.
I
Anyway,
had to get out of the mall.
Toad.
I had to get out of the mall.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably not a good place to be.
Toad
for-
Nippleson.
You know, I used to like go to the mall and hang out there for like two hours sometimes, whatever. And now, like, I go to the mall and I just kind of like I just leave, like right after I've done what I've had to do, like see a movie in this case, and then I
Yeah.
just leave. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm different now.
Oh no,
I
the
don't know if it's
FBI
good or
FBI
bad.
already knew about me. Like they don't give a fuck.
Well, of course, they like that's. I don't know why people think that like if they just call the
Like
cops, like somehow
have you ever
will magically.
heard of Jonathan Ross? Yeah, it's the guy that people false reported. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the police hate that shit. Like people who report false report or just report us because for being masked, like they don't have a crime to report. Like you're just wasting cops' time.
It just yeah, it's
They
just a
fucking,
waste of fucking yeah, it's just a
you
waste of
know,
fucking
you're
time.
just
It's like
you're annoying them. And you're
meanwhile
making their
someone
job
else could be
harder.
meanwhile someone else could be in fucking danger or something like that. You know, did you
Yeah,
ever think of that? I mean,
like you're taking their time away from investigating actual crimes, and wasting their time, and they don't appreciate it. So quit doing that. Like you're not gonna win. You're definitely not gonna win doing that shit,
It's like it's like if somebody has a garbage fire in their backyard, so they're burning trash in their backyard, and it's a contained fire, and everything's fine.
Yeah.
And they immediately call up the fire department and say, "Oh my God, that guy has a fire. There's a fire down that street." And the fire department investigates and realize, "Oh, there's no threat here." And
Yeah. Meanwhile, like
on
in
the
the
other side of town,
yeah,
yeah,
there's an actual fire raging, and they can't get to it as fast because now the house is burned down by the time they get there.
exactly.
You've wasted their time. Like they don't appreciate that stuff, so quit doing it. Not that
And
you
I mean,
care.
I think in that case, if you like report an emergency falsely, it is a crime.
Yeah, that's
You
true
know.
too. So yeah, of course they only do it anonymously. They don't do it.
you know what they use as an intimidation tactic against maps is that they try to use that thing where it's like castration as like a scare tactic, really. Not just against maps, but pedos, etc., all types. It makes them fear of coming out.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of. I mean, that's
the reason why that's
that's the point, though. That's what they're trying.
I mean, that's why.
Again, it's not about kids. It's about them asserting their dominance and trying to suppress people they just happen to not like and they don't want to hear from. Like they did the same thing to gays. They did the same thing to.
Yeah, and they're using that whole castration argument. It's like, it's like, and like that's not really the cure there.
There are people who are so insecure with their own masculinity or sexuality that they can't handle like people who are different from them without like it messing with their heads. They can't stand it. It messes with their heads. So like,
why can't they just like
no,
I mean, the solution to it, like the solution to it is like, okay, just avoid us. Avoid the people who are doing nothing wrong. You don't have to lurk and spy on us and get all upset about if we say something like, "Oh, kids are hot" and stuff like that. Like, okay, you don't have to like. You can just ignore it. It doesn't have out of sight, out of mind. Like you don't have to.
Yeah, and I don't even. I tend not even to talk about. I tend not even to talk that way on VP because that's like our home turf, and I feel like we can say what we want there. But as long as
but like I said, here's the thing though is that what I'm saying is that since they use castration as an argument, they're trying to use that actually as a scare tactic for pedophiles never to come out.
Yeah, and what I want to say to them is, you want to come try that shit with me? Bring it on. I'm ready for you. I guarantee you, though, I'm gonna go down fighting.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to kill me to get my.
Yeah, we're not gonna do.
Balls, and there's a good chance I'll kill you first.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, that's the same thing I gotta say, really.
I live in a stand your ground state, and I live, I live among family. Like I live on the same road as other family members who are also armed. So bring on your. If you guys think you're going to get down here and take me
has anybody ever like mailed you anything, like to your physical address?
address, no, they don't even know my address. That's not like most of my information is out, like my public information. But the one thing they get wrong is my address. They always get it wrong. Like because I've lived a few different places, and
Yeah.
they can't figure out which one I'm actually at or whether I'm at any of them. They don't know, and I'm not gonna change that. I'm just gonna say I live in Morse Chapel, and that's as far as I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
People say I'm not scared of these people. I don't know why they think they're going to intimidate me into silence or intimidate us into silence. They're
Speaking of Verped, apparently Verped is actually growing like large. It's growing into a large website.
Yeah, it's
I mean, how many members are there so far?
thousands. We've been growing since day one, and like on average, there's about 2 or 3 new people a week. So it doesn't seem like it's slowing down anytime soon. So yeah, the message is getting out. It's a good thing. People are starting to come over, and we're getting more and more. And plus, our community on Twitter is growing, like Maps and Map supporters both.
And that's what makes the antis mad. It
I know
really does make them
tried
mad.
everything they could to shut us down, but they're the ones violating the terms of service. So it's like, well, I don't understand. They'll let them be here, but we say that pedos should die, and they can't. I mean, yeah, that's a violation of the TOS. So can you read? It's
Yeah, it's like saying that a group or a minority should die. Like
it's called
that is definitely saying that, like, oh, I'm breaking TOS, but yeah, I don't understand why I'm banned.
listen, it's called being impartial. Like that's how they should operate. That's the way it's supposed to work. Like social media things that actually ended up censoring maps. They're hypocrites. They're going against their own TOS because they didn't specify that originally. They might have changed it later, but they just didn't want to deal with the issue. But Twitter is like one of the few places online where they actually honor the whole concept of the marketplace of ideas and the freedom of speech. And other than like they hateful speech and stuff like that, which is exactly how it should work.
Yeah,
Twitter,
I was wondering if Twitter if they updated their policy and it became exclusionary towards maps, like where would maps go?
Well, I guess we would probably all be hanging out on.
we would be on Verped a little bit more, like.
Yeah.
Well,
the
just the boards
would go to their corner, and the Verpeds would go to their corner. But
Mm-hmm.
we're not ever going to disappear off the internet. Like that time is over. We're here. It's not going to happen.
Exactly. I mean, we're still here. Like, nobody's gonna take us off, and nobody's like, like we're our message is spreading, and we're gonna be accepted on the internet one way or another.
We're out. The message is out now. Like they could take everything off the internet, but we're connected. So
exactly. A revolution is happening.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like a million pedophile march on Washington?
Oh my God! No, I can't. Not right now. Like
50 years, maybe.
No, I don't. Yeah,
maybe 50 years from now.
50 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen in my lifetime.
No.
But what's funny is that it's only because like people are so primitive now, but except here's the thing: we're primitive people with technology. Like that's I mean it's
Well, we're
2019.
never
Well,
gonna.
people think primitively.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
Yeah.
and that's, if you watched my videos on morality, I talk about how people bounce back and forth between like different levels of morality depending on the situation.
I mean, people were primitive. People were primitive, but they had the earth on their side in the year 19, and now in the year 2019, or like, oh no, in the year like 109 or something like that. People were primitive. I don't know. It's just like fucking
Well,
the
the thing of it is, like, we still all
we're
have
in.
that lizard brain in there somewhere. Everybody
Well, I
has.
mean, this is the very beginning of the Earth, though. I mean,
Yeah. Well, we've evolved more intelligently from that, but we still have that animal nature buried down there, and when we're threatened, like that's what comes out. Like it comes out fight or flight. You know, it's an instinct. That's an animal instinct. And when people are afraid of something, like when they're afraid of pedophilia, because they don't understand it, like that triggers aggression and fear. You know, so that's what happens. Uh, and Anyway,
yeah,
Science will solve all the answers.
I hope you're right.
But I
yeah,
was, I
pretty
was thinking
much.
this morning. I was thinking about, what if we lived in like a Star Trek universe?
Mm-hmm.
Like all of my problems would be solved with a holodeck.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Like, okay, problem solved. I don't.
Mm-hmm. You don't need any real kids because they're. I mean, holodeck is real. You experience it as real. So
Exactly.
Israel.
yeah.
So
That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can take that.
People
That
think the future is gonna have like floating cars, and it's like
No.
there's never gonna be such thing as floating cars. Like the most you're ever gonna get is cars without wheels. Like
yeah.
I
Well,
think I
the
think we're gonna
thing
run out of oil. So,
Yeah, that's going to happen, but also like the infrastructure that would be required to run a system like that, where it's
it'll need the fucking same shit as a jet pilot, like a jet
Well,
fucking
have
fuels.
you seen the movie? What is the name of that movie? Oh shit, I can't think of it. The Fifth Element, where they're flying at different levels, like they have different and they're crisscrossing and stuff like that. Coordinating that kind of thing, like
The fuck?
hard enough to coordinate airplanes, and you're talking about huge vehicles that come in,
The
sporadically.
most I could ever say, the next thing about cars I can think about is
Mhm.
about how like instead of like that, they're hover cars, without wheels.
Yeah,
Like it's hovering but not flying.
yeah, it's just barely hovering off the ground.
well, why would you do that when you
Yeah,
have
pretty much.
wheels? Why would you do that when you have wheels? That just wouldn't make any sense.
Well, because
Because the wheels could easily get damaged. That's the reason why.
Well, no,
and you don't have to ever replace the wheels. There's no friction; it's frictionless, so they're
I
not wearing
know,
down.
but the amount of energy it would take to just keep that car off the ground, it wouldn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Unless they find some way to unless they develop some anti-grav, like magnet-based anti-grav or something like that, where it just repelled because it was it's
Oh,
magnetized
what
or
about what
whatever.
about what about the fact that what if they were to like invent like these type of cars where like they just like what they do is like they go on any ground and they just like slip through the ground or something.
Huh?
Uh,
What's
you lost me on that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe cars with like a little bit more smaller wheels or something.
Okay. Like it's just like an all-terrain. You're just talking about like basically an all-terrain vehicle.
So
Yeah.
I actually wrote down some questions.
Okay, cool.
Have you ever met any maps in real life?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't. Well, no, I take that back. I have. I met somebody I knew from one of the older boards. I won't say who. Might be listening to this conversation, but he came into my town briefly and bought some of my artwork, which was cool. And yeah, like I didn't get to talk to him very long. He was passing through, but it was cool to talk to him, even though he's a pro contactor. I knew him from the old board, and he was one of the nicer people there. So um, I didn't mind meeting with him. He was pretty. I enjoyed the conversation. We were both kind of nervous, though. Like you could tell. I could tell. I knew I was nervous, and I could tell he was too. Just like
Were you his first map that he ever met?
I
You think?
I don't think so. I think he probably had met other maps before me, but he's the only one I know for sure. I mean, there's people I've suspected were maps, or we're pretty sure with the map, but just didn't have the absolute proof. But other than that, yeah, he's the only one I've met where I knew I was meeting a map.
Yeah, I've met 5 in real life.
Yeah, because you go around all over the place, travel a lot.
Yeah.
Is it like through symposiums and such?
No, one I grew up with. I didn't know that he was a map until he told me a few months ago.
Oh wow.
Mhm. I know one of them.
Yeah, and then I've met other people when I've been on the road.
Yeah, I know one. I know one of the people you've met. He's a friend of mine too. But anyway,
Yeah, he's hilarious.
yeah, he's cool. Can't name him here, unfortunately.
It is really cool when you can interact in real life with one, simply
Mm-hmm.
because like you can totally have your guard down. Like
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about, looking a little bit too long at
yeah,
someone, and you can like discuss, who you're attracted to and all that stuff. It's just
mhm,
really cool. It's nice.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
The one that
Um,
Todd, the one that
but
Todd and I know, uh, that I met in real life, he was making fun of me for looking at old ladies.
Yeah.
yeah,
It is.
Rusty.
It's weird from our perspective.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I've never known anybody who went in the other direction. Like at least who admitted to it.
So like Rusty, does old Rose from Titanic get you going?
No, I'm not that old. I've always
Oh,
it's
okay.
like 40 to 60, basically.
He's
Oh, all right.
I would say actually. So I would say you're actually a mesophile rather than a gerontophile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking like old Rose from Titanic with
Oh,
her with her
oh, that,
dirty hands shaping that
yeah,
clay pot.
yeah, like
No,
way
no, like
high
Blanche from
profile.
Golden Girls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blanche. She was the attractive one.
Mm. So,
Or she was the one that got around the most.
And
uh,
I'm gonna tell you a lot of men I know when I was younger used to talk
mm,
about doing Blanche,
doing Blanche.
doing Blanche. They used to talk. They talk about that shit. They talk about situations, and Blanche gets brought up a lot.
Yeah,
Still today.
right. Okay. And yet, Betty White's the one that's still alive. So you know.
I have another question. I guess probably most relatable to Rusty. Like when you were growing up, were you like you were, were you attracted to like girls your own age, or was it always like more of an attraction to like older women, like young women and things like that? So I've always
Always,
wondered, like with normal people, if like they're attracted to adults more than like same age peers and stuff.
I'm gonna tell you, like with me, I've always been attracted to older women,
Yeah.
and most men go from like the minute that women get out of puberty
Hmm.
to right around 60. Most men are that way.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Women that go through puberty, what?
Like
Well,
basically,
young
like
girls, but yeah.
once they can like
Oh,
smell sex, they they go for it. That's kind of like that sort of thing. Like it's very primal.
Like when there's
I
grass in the field, play ball.
oh god,
That
I
I got a subject. I got a subject.
okay.
Oh
Go
wait,
ahead.
wait, one
Okay.
second, Ross. I want to tell you too. Like men, I know, like men my age, you'll see like groups of teenagers in the mall, and they'll notice them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, it feels dirty because they're their daughter's friends or whatever."
Mm.
That also happens in men in private will say stuff, and they don't consider it taboo. Where if they said it publicly, they might get smacked or whatever.
Yeah, like they don't want to offend the girl's dad who they might know, or something like that. Yeah, I've had situations like that too. Like I've had some relatives, I won't say who, like admit to being attracted to teen girls. Like basically once they're kind of like somewhat pubescent, like it's just biological. It's not
It
even
is, yeah.
biological. It's like I don't know, like why people seem to think like attraction starts as soon as a child hits age of consent. Like that's not how it works. You know, your body's reactions doesn't set itself according to the law. It goes it responds to stimuli. So
Oh wow. Yeah,
It's
like
kind of,
stimulation.
and it's kind of funny. It's kind of, well, funny or whatever, but
mm,
like sometimes a girl will be like 11 or 12 and
mm,
she's very developed for her age,
yeah,
and you'll have like somebody be like, whoa, she's hot, and then you're like, dude, she's like 11, and it's like,
yeah,
oh,
and then,
never mind, never
yeah, and
mind.
then they freak out like, oh no, I didn't say that. That didn't happen. I'm not attracted to her.
I
Yeah, you can't put that genie back in the bottle, buddy.
Yeah,
It's out there.
it's like Pamela Anderson. I like Pamela Anderson, never mind.
You
Yeah.
remember? You remember Grumpy Old Men?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guys that talk about Sophia Loren in that movie. That shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude, I got some subject that
Okay.
I also got. The other one is the fifth one is Shoe on Head versus Omnizoa.
Okay. I know I had a conversation with I think Omnizoa or whatever that person. I had a private conversation with that person one time. Like they were nice. They were nice about us, but I disagreed with them politically. But they were actually pretty nice. If it's the person I'm thinking of, I don't know
I
but
think it's the Omnizoa that's the one that's like going against Shoe on Head right now.
okay, it's probably the same person. Yeah, like they were pretty, like they understood no match and understood it, but they just like their political views were not the same. Like they were libertarian, which
You know what my favorite moments were of Omnizoa's like when like fucking like actually there's a lot of them, but like Shoe on Head was like fucking going like, "Hey, alright, so like as you can see, like,
Hmm.
fucking children is wrong, and then like Onuzo is like, you fucking idiot, that's not even what we're even talking about.
Hold on, let me give him the Hangout URL because he wants to join in.
Who, Kyle Fox?
Kyle, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Ding, ding,
I probably
ding.
shouldn't post. Should I post it in here?
No, not the chat, not the YouTube
Yeah,
chat.
I don't know where to post it. Then I don't know where to send it to him. Like,
I can
I
I can
already.
DM him. I can DM him.
Okay,
All right, good.
do that. DM it to him because I don't want to post it right on the chat.
Let me see.
I could have some real
Be right back.
here. Hmm. Discord. I don't know. It's talking about Discord.
Yeah, I just sent Kyle the link to the Hangout.
Well, hopefully you have Kyle. You have a Google account, right? You have to have a Google account.
Yep, he saw it. Okay, so I think
Okay.
he's gonna. Yep.
At the end, okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi. Yeah, I was actually here last time.
Yeah, you sound, man. It's good. You and Mark sound so much alike. It's going to be hard to distinguish you two.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yeah, you guys both sound a lot alike.
We got that pedo voice.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Somebody
But
actually, somebody said I sounded like a pedophile. Like, okay, what does a pedophile sound like? I didn't
like you.
know. Yeah.
It's always
now I'm self-conscious.
yeah, but it's always like that's such a it's such a bullshit argument because it's basically like anybody who like they don't like the look of like you look like a pedo, people can look completely different. They'll say the same exact thing about it, and then like you'll have somebody like who is that guy Mark Salling or whatever the guy who he was an actor and he downloaded child porn and he ended up like offing himself. I think his name was Mark Salling. He was on Glee, I think it was that show.
Oh yeah, he killed himself.
And he killed himself, yeah. But he like dude's like super handsome. Like
Yeah.
even though he's like he was a pedophile, but he doesn't look like one, so nobody would say, oh, he looks like a pedophile because he supposedly doesn't, even though he was. See, it's like, and then you can throw like I was actually gonna do when I was doing my original To Map Humanity series, I was going to like have a bunch of pictures of people, like just have people guess like is this a pedo or it isn't, and like just kind of mix it up, but I never got to that. So
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Just to prove.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Okay. Just to prove like it's BS, like
Right.
because there's some really handsome pedophiles out there, and then there's some like there's a lot of like weird looking people that some people think look like pedophiles, but they're not, And then
like the guy from The Office.
yeah, and then there's a whole lot of
Which guy from The Office?
The one where I don't know if you've seen that like GIF where he drops the whole can of beans.
The guy with the glasses. Are you talking about?
Yeah, Dwight.
Truth?
Too.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Which one?
Talking about the movie Office.
White Truth?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking not really of even in the TV show, but I'm thinking of the movie Office Space.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of the movie?
Yeah,
the one that
Office
he ends up going off on. He eventually like shoots up the place after.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they keep moving him to smaller and smaller spaces, and like he has a hard time communicating and shit like that.
Oh, I didn't see that movie.
It's pretty funny.
It is good.
It's really funny. It's by the guy who
Mike Judge.
Mike Judge, yeah, the guy who did, Beavis and Butthead and
Idiocracy.
Bill cartoon. It's the same guy. He directed that. But yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah, speaking of like Beavis and Butthead, like did you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged and Evil and other
I don't know.
Weevil versus
Connection.
something or Weevil and Rex?
Your connection's getting a little bad. Can you find like another like a closer connection or something, because you're starting to break up.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but just not very well.
It's a little echoey, a little tinny.
Yeah, it's tinny and distorted. Like it's like you're getting out of signal.
Oh, hold on.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Do you guys I was thinking like it'd be kind of funny to like be the stereotypical pedophile for Halloween.
Oh really? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It might be kind of, it might like backfire on you.
You could just dress as Pedo Bear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do they sell Pedo Bear costumes?
Oh yeah, you can get them. You can get them.
I didn't know that. Jesus.
Yeah.
Arrested for that.
Yeah.
No.
I've seen people in pictures in places and like on video, like walking by like playgrounds and stuff, wearing that costume.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah, like nobody notices. Just like nobody's paying attention.
Everybody's on their phone while their kids are like, hanging upside down on the monkey bars.
Or nobody like gets that it's Pedo Bear. Like like, I kind of got the feeling like the parents that were at the park or whatever like didn't realize who it was. Just kind of like, oh, the guy in a bear costume, isn't that nice?
Oh, and all the kids are like, "Hey, bear!"
Yeah, and it's like nobody gets that it's Pedo Bear. I think that's funny. Obviously.
Kyle, I saw Avengers, and you will like it. Trust me.
Yeah, I thought I heard that the ending wasn't any good though.
Yeah, the ending was crap, but
yeah, I have a feeling I know what it's going to be like. Yeah, I don't like bad endings.
A lot of things changed at the end. I'll just leave it. Like they changed a lot of stuff. So some people are going to like it, some people aren't. But
there are some kids in it too.
Well, I did.
So.
Well, I did see the first part, and I have to see the second part, obviously.
Yeah. Oh well, the kid one thing that bothered me is like all the kids get aged up in it for 5 years because it takes place over like there's that 5-year period. So like, all the cool all the great kids from the for example, Ant-Man's daughter, like she gets aged up. And she looks like way older.
I know.
Gabe made a comment like looks like she was in the last Ant-Man movie. She looked like she was about 8 or 9. Now she looks like she's 19. Mm-hmm. Like they aged her up more than 5 years.
Exactly.
They always do that.
Hawkeye's youngest son was amazing.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have much of a part at all, but I was like,
yeah. Well, yeah.
Hello.
Back. Okay. Anyway, so
hey, Transformers, what's up?
Transformers, where?
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
some cars starting, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear it.
Yeah. I'm glad the UN made Shoda and Lolly legal,
Oh, did they decide on it? I didn't know that.
I think I saw that tweet like a couple of weeks ago. It's like
well they're on the right side of history.
Who made it
so
legal?
ridiculous.
Well,
the United Nations.
I don't know if they made it legal, but they just decided that they weren't gonna internationally outlaw it or whatever. Because really, the UN, they make a lot of things in international law, but that doesn't mean countries necessarily abide by it, right? So
if it did become worldwide, they just said, okay, this is not illegal, this is fine. So the people that are incarcerated under that ridiculous law, they should be set free.
Yeah, but see, that's not. They didn't really, like I said, they didn't really come out and make it law that, like, well, I mean, they might have, but international law does not have the same clout in those countries that national law has, you know. So it's up to those countries whether their governments, you know, honor that or not, you know. And most of them are probably just going to keep on doing what they're doing. Like America's going to keep on making it, keeping it quasi legal, and you know, Canada's going to keep it illegal.
The only thing is that if you look up CP or do anything else, like, and you get arrested for it, they'll add the lolly and the shota to the charges, though. But the thing is that it's not illegal entirely, though.
Yeah, well,
they'll use that against you, but you know.
Yeah,
still.
that's what I was going to say. It's not. It probably is illegal. Like, I mean, it's the law is really kind of fuzzy there. But the thing is, they're not going to pursue people that are just looking at that stuff because they've got way too much.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing: if you break the law, then and they find out about the lolly and shota stuff, they'll just add that in. They'll just add it in there, you know, just for the fuck of it.
Count it as part of it. That's the only way they'll do it, and that actually hurts people who you know, who are just looking at that stuff because like they're trying to make it precedent that's part of that, you know, that stuff, you know. So they know they don't have a
no
case.
Wonder
they don't really have a case if it's just cartoons. Like it's going to be hard to get, you know, people to convict on that, but or at least it used to be. Like these days it might not be, but it used to be like really hard to convict somebody on just cartoons, you know.
Yeah,
like,
same here. It's like
virtually impossible. Like they tried to like there's this old comic, this old erotic comic called Devil Angel and Iron Devil. It was like they were part of the same
if
series.
It's erotic, I would like to check it out.
It's by Frank Thorne. And back in the early 90s, like there's a scene in one of the comics because it deals with a demon, like a female demon. It's like her story, and you know she's just like, you know, it's, you know, her erotic adventures in hell basically. But like there's a scene where it shows her childhood and like she was sexual as a child, but she was a demon. So like he got off on a technicality because it wasn't really human. Like he said, this isn't human, it's a 1,000-year-old demon, you know. So it looks like a child, but it's not. It's a demon. So like he got off on that. He got off on that argument.
Are you talking about part of the story, or is that part of IRL?
No,
it's the story.
No, it's part of the story. Like there's a couple. It's not long. It's like a couple of panels. You know, like you don't like. There's one scene of like the girl like filleting a penis, I think, and then some like there's just a couple of panels in the comic. It was like just basically like here's her history, right?
Is that why like sometimes in Shota, like the character will have like cat ears and a tail? Is that just to like give like a cue that
it's
this
not really
isn't like human? This is like
I mean, it
some
might have
sort of
started that way, but I think it's just become part of like that kawaii culture, you know, that kawaii thing. It's cute, so
right.
people, you know.
Yeah, it's all about making it kawaii.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's I think it's more so that.
Cool. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like it's just drawings. Same with stories. Like, you know, if it's fiction, it's fiction. It's like, come on. It's just, I don't know. I'm not very articulate about it. It's just infuriating.
No, there has actually been one person who was convicted on obscenity for drawings, and it was his name. I was trying to remember his name. Oh God,
Was that one?
I can't remember. I can't remember his name, but he was
Burning Angels.
Spoiled Angel.
Oh
yeah,
God.
He did Spoiled Angel, and he was like
God.
You can Google some of it. I wouldn't advise it. He was a horrible artist.
Oh my fucking God, no.
Mike Diana, that's his name. His name is Mike Diana.
Oh my fucking God, no.
Stop,
if only
bro.
we could see what you're seeing right now.
You could Google it. I wouldn't advise it, but his art style is so bad. It's just the most vile things you could think of. Like it's like violent. There's a lot of incest in it, and like it was a self-produced comic, and he made the mistake of like he would just like print them off on a photocopy machine and like hand sell them like for whatever, like $1 a piece or whatever to anybody. And he lived in Florida at the time, so like he made the mistake of trying to sell one to an undercover police officer, and that's how he got busted. And then like they ended up finding no redeeming quality to his work, but
of course,
just it's still he still shouldn't have gone to jail over friggin' drawings. But yeah, he's the only person I know of in American history who went to jail, or who not. I don't know if he went to jail. I think he did, but he was mostly he's on probation. But he's the only person who was convicted of creating obscenity with drawings that I know of in American history. He's it.
That's just disturbing.
Yeah. And as a kid, he didn't have a good lawyer. He was poor. Like everything conspired against him. It's a really sad case. And like he's not allowed around kids, even though like he's not a pedophile. It's just what it was, just his cartoons, like, his sense of humor and his art style were just so crude and bad that like even though like I wouldn't they're not comics I would read, but I wouldn't put somebody in jail for making cartoons. I just wouldn't.
Of course not.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Just crazy to do that. It's clearly it's just
and it's not even depraved. It's just for the shock value.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like that's what they're being punished for. Not punished for hurting anybody. They're being punished for shocking people, from shocking their senses. That's it. That should not be against the law.
Yeah,
I mean, if that was the case, like Howard Stern should be in prison.
Yeah,
definitely.
It just goes to show, like, it's hypocritical. Like back in the 50s, Howard Stern would have been
right,
but these days almost anything goes. But yeah, it's the kids.
It's just weird too, like like on TV, like there can be like violence against children, and I think that's more disturbing than any kind of like sex act.
I know. Yeah,
it is.
Especially like if it's
oh, that's how I initially thought before. Yeah, like.
Well, and the thing is, like, they don't even really like they can't even show, like, if there's a child getting sexually abused, they can't really even show it on TV. Because it would be a violation of,
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, you can show them getting mutilated and like
like in Game of Thrones, that little girl being burnt at the stake.
Oh my God, I was
kind of traumatized by that.
I was
like, I don't know if I can watch this show anymore. I felt like
I know, right? It's so hypocritical. It's so hypocritical when it comes down to what can be censored and what cannot be censored.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's just it was horrible, and like the one of the most shocking, in this case it's well made though. One of the most shocking scenes in the movie is the end of Pan's Labyrinth when Ophelia gets killed. You haven't seen that? Oh, sorry, I just spoiled it. She's I'll give you another example. Have any of you seen the movie Hereditary?
No.
Oh, okay. I won't spoil that one for you then.
Is that the one, like, it's a recent movie, right?
Yeah, it's pretty recent.
Yeah. I wanted to see. I haven't seen it yet.
It's on I think Amazon.
Okay.
If you want to watch it on there. I think it's where I watched it, on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
It was either
Here's another subject that I just written down.
Mm-hmm.
How maps seem more human than antis?
Because we're more we're just living our lives.
Yeah.
You know, we're just kind of going about our business
and
for the most part.
I think too that there's like a lot of adversity kind of humbles you and makes you into a good person, where you can empathize with anybody because you know what it's like, to be persecuted and treated like shit for something you can't change. So,
and here's the thing: we actually care about the kids, like unlike those
and
guys.
of course, this myth that we don't really care about kids, like we're just using them, is such bullshit. Like that's like, even people who end up molesting kids a lot of times.
What kids are we using?
Well, even the pedophiles who do end up sexually abusing kids, like a lot of times they feel guilty about it, and like they do it out of need, but they
and people who aren't like people who are non-situational antis, like people who are like that are just scum fucks, really.
Well, and then the thing of it is, like, the people who really abuse kids, the situational offenders, a lot of times they don't care about them at all. Like they'll abuse them every which way. They don't. It's like they see them as property. Even if they're their own kids, it's like, especially if they're their own kids. If you belong to me, and I'll treat you however I want. Like, that's not love.
No, it's not. It's not. Like we already know it's not love, but
yeah. But me, I'm a bad person because I look at certain little girls and I get hearts in my eyes. I mean, she's so beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a monster because
we're all monsters for thinking that, obviously.
Yeah, and it's
thought crimes.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing, really. It's like thought crimes.
I was talking to somebody when I was in Massachusetts a few days ago, and they're working at MIT, and they're actually working on something that would enable two people to hook up their brains to this device, and then you could read their mind.
Yeah, that's like somebody asked me in one of my Curious Cat questions, and I'm still in the process of answering those and putting them up. I only got one up, but I've got 4 done though. But I'll maybe put the second one up tomorrow. But anyway, somebody asked me if it was possible if say tomorrow, a machine gets invented, or some way gets invented that where it reveals your sexuality, like it reveals everybody's sexuality, and everybody's forced out of their closet at the same time. Like, how would we deal with that? And I thought that's a good idea for a sci-fi story. How would society? Because there's a lot of maps that are in hiding, and a lot of them are hiding as antis. What would happen? Like, there would be violence in the streets. People would be no, like that. They would be in violent denial.
Yeah.
Well, your machine screwed up.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah.
No, what Mark is talking about, that's not too far off. They've been able to download memories into rats.
Yeah.
And if they can download them, extracting them is probably not that far away.
Yeah, they're like focusing on certain sectors, certain parts of the brain, and like the with the computing power of some of these machines, they can actually decipher. I almost feel like they kind of like a more advanced polygraph almost.
Yeah.
So, I guess like the polygraph system could advance to the point where you hook somebody up to it, and with you can clearly tell if they're lying or not. So I could definitely see something like that being implemented in the criminal justice system.
Well, even with that, like they would have to decipher if it was a memory that actually happened or a memory that was created, because we know memories, half of the stuff we remember, your mind generates.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually read several years ago. It was scary. Like it was about the whole point of it was about how easy it is to implant memories in kids, and they did a study where
I would want to protect those kids from having memories like
well, they what they did was they would tell them, like they conducted an experiment where they said, you know, you guys, do you remember that day where you participated in such and such event? And they just made the event up, and they kept saying it so many times, like, and all the kids were, at the same time, like when one kid would say yes, and then the other ones would, and they would remember an event that never happened. Like it was really easy to manipulate kids into remembering things really happened.
Being a child doesn't. You can do the same thing with adults if you know how to do it. You can create a memory in an adult. It's not difficult.
But it's harder than for kids. Like it's really easy to do it with kids because they're so impressionable.
It's really easy to do it with adults too.
Like the McMartin preschool trial, like how that was, like they planted memories, like the cops and the investigators convinced the kids like all this stuff happened that didn't happen.
Yep. It became a humongous witch hunt.
You're talking about how like they were pretty much doing that whole fucking MK Ultra shit.
No,
this was like in the 80s, right?
Yeah, it was like the late 80s. There was a case.
Well, I mean, whatever it is, manipulation, like information manipulation, mental manipulation.
No, they weren't doing it. They weren't doing it. Like okay, this is what happened. Some kid in the preschool said something to a parent that vaguely sounded like sexual abuse. So they ended up investigating all the kids, and they got the investigators. Like the more they got the kids to talk, the more they started like kind of feeding them ideas. Like, did this happen or did that happen? And they ended up like changing the narrative. Like they weren't doing it on purpose.
You do realize that some of the kids that were manipulated by officials and law enforcement people, usually it was for their own personal gain, so that they can gain some credit for the investigations.
How do we know that like some of those it became a famous case? So like obviously like the investigators were like they were in the spotlight.
I mean, like investigators were literally just manipulating children and like taking their memories and dissecting them and making it somewhat different and making the story different.
Yeah.
And making the children believe that that's what really happened, so that they would get extra credit in the investigation industry.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and basically what happened was somebody that worked at that preschool, like a couple of people, I think, ended up going to jail for like 11 years or something before everybody was finally, cleared. So like people served real time, and it was fucked up. It was
people's lives were ruined, absolutely ruined.
That whole family, like the Martin family, were just. Like,
and that's I think like one of the outcomes of that was all this, I mean, after that, like parents, like stranger danger, and like it was crazy. Like there was definitely like more fear about like pedophilia than like
yeah, because I
after
remember
that.
being in the early '90s, you know, right about the time I hit adulthood. You know, was when people really started. Like I just came in on the beginning of it, where it got real. Like it started in the '80s, I think, or maybe even the late '70s, but it got really ramped up in the '90s, and it was because you had like books on like multiple personality was a big thing. You know, like there's supposedly all these cases coming out, and then there was also like ritual abuse, supposedly, like a lot of cases of that coming out. There was like, I think like every week there was a new book about somebody, you know, revealing they were sexually abused in some way or other. You know, like
And
through time.
yeah, the '90s were weird. Like the
Yeah, and
'90s.
you had Oprah, you know, doing a bunch of stories on it, and then you had like movies
Wait,
like
did Oprah even report on that or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you had movies like Child of Rage. Do you remember that movie?
I don't know. I never heard of that.
It was like a movie from the '90s. It was like it was a true story supposedly, but it was like this girl. She was abused, and she ended up in the foster care system. It was about 4 or 5 or something like that, and she ends up being like a psychopath. Like she wakes up in the night and tries to stab the foster parents, but like they trace it all to her abuse. Like she's, you know,
The fuck? Yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, really.
Yeah,
I think I watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, it was based on a true story, and I remember reading a little bit about the real case, but it was pretty horrible too. But I think they exaggerated a lot for the sake of the show. But
and also like in the '90s, you had, you know, the Michael Jackson accusations
yeah,
just blew up,
and you had, you know, a lot of like after school specials were coming out.
You notice that there
and
was
very
like
special episodes of all your favorites.
you notice how they were even praising Michael Jackson in like the documentaries. Like they were like, oh yeah, he raped me, but you know, I liked his music, you know, and all that stuff.
I didn't see that. I'm not even going to comment on that.
I haven't. It's on my DVR. I honestly have not watched it yet. I've heard, you know, it's very like, you know, they go to great lengths to like disparage Michael Jackson and all this crap.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean that's what they usually do.
Well, that guy, you know, the director, like he tracked those guys down. Like he tracked down all these people that spent time with Michael Jackson because he needed a new project because I think the project that like his other documentary before that one was like a failure or something.
Yeah, so like he like paid those fucking guys, being like, all right, so all you have to do is say this and say that.
I'm not gonna say it didn't happen. I'm not gonna say it did because I don't know. I wasn't there.
Neither will I. I mean, there's no comment really.
It's easy to talk about a dead guy, you know.
Right, he can't defend
Yeah,
himself.
exactly.
So yeah, I mean, he's dead and gone. It really.
I feel bad for his kids because they have to like.
It was amazing seeing when, you know, I don't know if you watched his funeral on TV, but I did. Me and my mom watched it, and it was the first time I really got to see the kids, and listening to little Paris talk, like it was amazing. She was so poised and intelligent.
Yeah,
and, like,
she's really
more. Smart. Yeah, she seemed like she got it together more than the adults in the room, you know, like, you know, and she's defending her dad and like. You know, like, she was like, you know, 8, 9 years old, and she's like, you know, speaking on the microphone and just like wildly, you know, I'm like, damn, you know, he has to be a good dad. He raised these amazing kids. So,
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think professional child models are being exploited?
Yes.
No doubt. No fucking doubt. No fucking doubt.
I'm not convinced.
on my Curious Cat. Did you ask me that one?
I may have.
Yeah. And I said, I'll say what I said on camera. I said, some are and some aren't. It depends on the situation. You know, not all of them are. The ones
it depends on the context.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on context. A lot of it depends on, you know, what they're actually putting the child through. Like, are they starving the kid, or, you know, are they, you know, putting them through like 18-hour-a-day shoots? And then also there's, you know, so there's that side of it, and then there's also.
And are they making them do erotic poses, doing you know that and all that?
Erotics, like, are they like you know like trashing them up to look like, you know, 20-year-old women with the makeup and stuff? Like, I'm not real fond of that. Look, I don't.
Yeah, neither am I. I mean, like when you try to make little girls look like women, it's just like it turns me off, really.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be ironic to say that, because like a lot of people are, oh, so that's what I should do, put makeup on my kids. No, then you're going to get people who are attracted to adults and they don't care if you're what age your kid is. They're just gonna, oh, there's a cute person, you know. Like, you're getting the other side of it, man. Like the
weird
people that don't care, you know.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that with boys, because they just, you know, they just naturally.
Right.
I'm being biased.
Someone else wants to join.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Can I use that same link that Mark gave me?
Yeah, wait. Who wants to join?
Who is it?
Oh, Jonathan. I don't know if that'd be all right.
Another map.
I don't know who it is. It's up to Russ Ross.
I mean, is it another map from Twitter?
He was on Twitter before, but I don't think he's on Twitter now. But he's actually in our community.
Is he on Discord?
And he's on Discord. Yeah, he's in Omnizoa's Discord, and actually right now he just sent me a private message. He's asking.
I wish Map Adam could be on.
Sure, why not? Sure, why not? Yeah, that sucks that he had to get fucking suspended. Really?
Yeah, you can let him in. He's welcome here as long as he behaves.
Okay, well, let's see. I don't know. How do I? So I just provide the link that Mark gave me, then, right?
Not say the N-word.
All right.
Don't say any offensive words, hopefully.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Don't say like the F word, like F-A word.
Yeah, don't say that.
No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I was like the question about like child models. I was thinking more like ones that are, you know, they're you know, they're being like on like Abercrombie kids, and you know, like more like just you know, normal companies, I suppose.
Yeah,
like
and they have
and stuff.
They have like regular clothes on, and they're not.
Because and I was thinking like there's like a lot of them are like shirtless and stuff, but it's like for like Abercrombie kids or J. Crew kids, things like that.
I think in that case, you know, it's like people. It's like a lot of times, like I'll see pictures like that, and like it won't even register as sexual to me, and then somebody will make a comment like, "Oh, you're sexualizing that child," and I'll look back and go, "Really?" And like, no, I mean, I guess for me, because I'm an artist and I'm used to seeing, like, I've seen so many paintings and drawings of nude kids at this point. Like, I've seen so many art images just of nudes in general. Like, it doesn't even, like, nudity doesn't faze me. It's not like I don't know, you know, like most of those images aren't sexual. Nudity by itself is not sexual. It takes a person's mind to make it sexual.
Yeah, same here. I don't know why. I don't know why. Here's the thing. I think honestly, people should be walking around nude if they feel like it. You know, that's the thing, really.
No, what the?
Why? Because
if they want to, they should have that right.
I mean, like,
I would be concerned about is like sanitary stuff. Like, yeah, if you go in a restaurant, sit on the seat, and then you have to like somebody else has to come in and sit. Like, Yeah, I don't know.
You'd have to bring a towel with you.
Yeah, bring a towel with you. Then you know.
I have a really good friend that is a nudist, and when I visit his house, generally speaking, I'll like take my clothes off and stuff.
Okay, just to join in.
Just I guess to be polite.
Yeah.
Because he wants to like be naked, so I'm like, okay. It doesn't do anything for me, but like,
yeah,
you know, he's
why
into
not?
it.
If
So
you're into it, you know.
And I'm comfortable with it, so it doesn't matter.
Well, if you're comfortable with it,
if I'm not cold, I'm not
comfortable.
You know,
yeah.
but if it's like a hot summer day or something, yeah, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And you ever have anybody like visit you when you're doing that, or like...
No, it's just been me and him, and he lives with his brother. So if his brother's home, like it doesn't happen. So
okay. Yeah.
So he's kind of like a closet nudist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
whatever, you know.
Yeah, he honestly he enjoys when I like pay him a visit because then he can like be nude with somebody else. So it's cool.
Well, that's very hippie of him.
Yeah.
That's cool. Cool.
Don't like do anything like don't fry things in hot oil though if you're naked.
No, God, yeah, no. No, I mean I've tried like frying stuff just without a shirt. You know, like I'll get spattered with grease. And I'm like hello, whoever you are. I see your head.
How are you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yo, what's going on?
Yo,
very very laid back conversation tonight.
Yeah.
We're just kind of talking about whatever. I've actually been asking questions I wrote down.
Yeah.
Like, I have another question.
Yeah.
Who are some people not necessarily...
I'm Jonathan. What's up, Todd? What's up?
Hey.
Just chilling, you know.
Yeah, same here.
That's cool.
I have like a Friday night off from work that never happens. So.
Yeah.
This is like the last day of my vacation, then I have to like, you know, slave away again. So.
Slave away. Oh, yeah. I was about to ask you where, but honestly, that's not.
Yeah, I probably won't say.
I think, like I said though, I mean, like if certain people want to, you know, go ahead and like go around the streets naked, they could. If I was president, I would pretty much say, you know, people who are nude are allowed to be in society, etc.
I agree with you, Rusty. You're right, Rusty. I agree with you.
Do you think it should be like restricted to like certain parts of town, say, or certain areas of like say it's at like a
Well,
like a
not really.
center?
Okay. Let's look at it this way. All right. I mean, what do you think? How we were like when we were born, pretty much.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
culturally,
I don't. It's
just a cultural thing. Yeah.
I think we could get to that point at some point, but I think we'd have to start out like having it, you know, where only parts of it. But then
I mean, think of it. The only reason why clothing is around now is because like, it's for the money, really. Like it's for cold hard cash, really.
No, that's not accurate.
No, there's a lot of reasons we have clothes, and some of it's status, some of it's you know,
self-expression.
Warm,
yeah, exactly.
It's culture itself, basically. It's culture that made it this way.
Yeah, exactly.
Nudity is a normal thing.
Yeah.
No, honestly, man didn't evolve wearing clothes, but once we got out of our regular climate, we had to wear them because we're not made for the cold, and we're not made to be exposed in the sun.
Yeah, but again, the only like I don't have a moral problem with nudity, like public nudity. The only thing for me is like again sanitation, like sanitary, like it's just like, you know, If you go into a restaurant, bring a towel and don't touch your balls while you're eating.
Well, the problem, like, also
I mean, people
is,
can
like,
agree, people can disagree. It's whatever.
I mean, it is. I don't know if I would be comfortable doing it, because like I'm scared of like an unexpected erection or something, and then it's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it depends on the person. Hey, it depends on that's
Pretty much.
But I mean, I
Pretty
believe in
much.
freedom. Like, if people, like, I definitely wouldn't, like, if they wanted to pass some sort of rights code where it was acceptable to do it, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Like,
same. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, I've seen some nudes of some trolls, and really, I don't want to see that shit in public.
Oh my god, are they sending you nudes?
The trolls? Oh, I got a terabyte freaking SD card filled with troll nudes.
Wow, that's got to be disturbing.
I'm exaggerating about the terabyte, but I have a lot of nudes trolls.
You should you should say I'm actually 14. I'm actually like 14. So
well, we can talk about that because one of the people who I know is the dragon lady. I don't know if I shouldn't say her name. I won't say her name,
but yeah, I mean, like I said, in my world perspective, I think that people should have the freedom to be nude in public whenever they want.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You know what, Ross? I'm gonna send you some pictures. You're gonna change your mind.
If it's gonna be grown ass men, then
somebody in the chat regarding nudism, they said stupid idea. Mass nudism would spread disease even more.
Would spread disease even more. Well, yeah. I mean,
I guess like things leaking out of people. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends.
Maybe be courteous. Don't piss or wherever you want. I'm not saying go do that. I mean, don't turn into a complete animal. Like, really.
Shower every day.
I mean, come on.
But
if you're gonna walk around nude and you got a body like mine, expect to be bullied. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really feel comfortable.
Yeah, I would just don't make me be nude. You want to be nude? You go.
I mean,
if I was president, I would say clothing is only an option.
Well, could you like, okay, so you want to legalize nudity? That means you have to see Donald Trump naked.
Oh God.
Does anybody really want that?
I do.
I mean, you just have to turn away. You would just have to turn away and you're like.
I don't want to see that peach fudge.
Oh my God.
The fuck.
Somebody did a painting of him naked.
The fuck.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I can't unsee it.
I know. It just rolls and rolls of.
And then him having that smile with the thumbs up.
God, yeah.
Make America nude again.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So that was basically.
He probably has a very small penis.
Yeah, it was.
Well, guess what the benefits of it is that you get to see women nude if they want to be nude as well. So yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah.
No, there's no women you don't want to see nude. I'm gonna start posting pics in the YouTube thing so you guys can see it.
We're getting
I did have a question. I did have another question.
We brought up a highly controversial subject. Now we can't turn away from it. How shocking.
I guess this is a good question. We might have already discussed this at one point, but what helps you cope in a world that hates maps? Yeah,
I made a whole video in response to this. It ended up being like a half an hour long. I'm gonna defer to other people because I'll post that video eventually.
Yeah, guess what? I have to go ahead and mod you, Todd, if you're gonna comment.
I'm just isolated from everyone.
On test stream. Oh.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but okay.
But Kyle, you're a part of like different communities online, though.
Yes, that's how I cope, actually. But I'm pretty much isolated from the rest of society. I only have a small circle of people around me.
Same.
I mean, that's the same thing with
Same.
me as well. I mean, it's the same thing with all of us. I mean, really.
No, not all of us.
Oh yeah, not you, of course, but you know.
Yeah. For the rest
Get out,
of
Rusty.
I used to, like, when I was younger, I used to just fantasize about other, like, people at my college also being, like, pedophiles. And just, like, you know, somehow, you know, creating, like, signals that would indicate that I'm one of them and stuff. And it would create, like, you know, it'd be like this secret society at the college I was going to. But
So you want to start the pedo Illuminati, basically.
right. So I'd be like, I mean, I was kind of brazen back then, but like I'd go in my computer lab and I'd go on like boy chat and stuff.
You
know,
yeah.
And I was kind of brazen. And
hey, I have another subject. What's the alternative to Twitter if you get banned?
We talked about this about an hour ago.
Yeah.
Discord, maybe.
Yeah,
Or
but I
Gab
think
is another one.
I mean, like not live though. But
Gab.
The only thing I know is Burped for people who are anti-contact, and for everybody else, there's other forums I don't know.
But Gab doesn't support free speech either.
yeah, if any maps get banned from
garbage.
If maps get banned from Twitter, then that means they might as well go to Verped.
I bet it could happen.
Yeah.
I bet it really could happen. I think Twitter is going to experience a ton of public pressure by the shareholders
right.
to, like, get rid of the pedophiles on Twitter.
Yeah, we already have people come to our defense.
Well, the same thing happens on Discord too. But a lot of us have moved over to Matrix.
But hey, dude, at least you get to have all that evidence of death threats and all that stuff, so that you know in case that ever does happen. Remember that slideshow video you were gonna make, Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the evidence.
The what dance?
The evidence.
Oh,
So
the
if-
evidence. Okay.
If somebody
God,
like
the
gives you a death,
evidence.
if somebody gives you a death threat, can you actually like call the police and report it, or?
I normally
Yeah.
get their address and phone number and call them.
Yeah, you have to, you know, they're not going to do anything unless they first of all know who it is.
Yeah.
And second of all, have some kind of evidence. Because,
Anonymity as well.
What?
Anonymity as well.
Well, you want them to not, like, you want them to be, you want to uncover them, you know. If you know their identity, the police will want that.
Right. Yeah, because, like, anybody can just say anything, but...
Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, we have to
not much you can do. Yeah.
You can say, oh, he threatened me, but if you know, people can make that up. They do it all the time.
I mean, there are situations, though, of, like, you know, kids being cyberbullied, and, you know, like, one of the bullies will say, well, you know, KYS, and, you know, kill yourself, you know, and then, like, it's horrible, and, like, the victim will actually go through with it, and, I mean, you know, and then, like, the police will try to track down.
what about Plate Gang? I mean, Plate Gang's like one of those fucking retarded antis, pretty much.
Okay. What?
So how did you deal with them? By the way, because like
I don't know who they are. I haven't encountered any of them myself.
They were on yesterday.
Were they?
Yeah.
Those one of the guys, I said that he ran out of stuff to say, so he's gonna spend the rest of the night masturbating to my avatar.
What's that? Say it again. I didn't catch what you said, Rusty.
I said they ran out of shit to say, so they're just gonna spend the rest of the night masturbating to my avatar. Shut them off.
Oh yeah, I remember Dr. Roxo. Like Dr. Roxo's like Hey guys, my name is Bernie the Dinosaur here. I like to groom kids on Fortnite
I don't know
to
what
get that ethno state.
before my time, dude.
I hate Fortnite. I've never played it, and I think it's so stupid.
Yeah,
That's
so
all I'm
do
gonna
I.
say.
The only reason why is because, like, dude, it's like some sort of fucking Cat in the Hat cartoon fucking type shooter or something.
Okay. I mean, I have like watched videos of like kids dancing with Fortnite moves or something. I don't know, but
I don't know either.
that might be the best thing about it.
I'm not a gamer at all, so I don't know
Yeah.
any of that stuff.
Their toys are cool.
I'm an old man.
I know.
How dare
Get off my
How-
porch!
I like how Icy Too Cool said how dare you do something you can't control, and then yeah, and then I'm just like, yeah, they harder than me. So
I don't know what any of that means.
What is
Yes.
REEEEE?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, somebody posted a
is
link.
it's like someone like screaming, but like it's like
And-
ree or
And
something.
if anybody posts a link in the chat room and you don't know what it is, don't follow it. Just
Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, but
Just-
somebody posted a link to this YouTube page. They posted on Omnizoa's Discord.
okay.
Okay.
How many people are in the room? 3? Just 3.
It says 8 right now watching.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
There's so much to
Oh,
do
no,
on
I-
Friday night, and people would rather listen to us. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, trolls would rather come at us also, which is quite nice also because like they have nothing better to do.
Yeah, definitely. Of course.
Let's see what else.
I mean, when they're not masturbating to like
Rusty.
horse porn and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely.
Actually, they're fun to talk to. The trolls are fun to talk to over the phone. I'll just say that.
You talking?
Did you give them your number?
No, I'll get theirs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, theirs, and then you call them.
That's cool.
It's like, sup, motherfucker.
And it's like is Jamie there? And it's like, Jamie's mother picks up, and it's like some like 12-year-old.
Masturbate to pony porn.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
bronies.
Those poor
Oh yeah.
things.
By the way, I'm a brony also, kinda. I mean,
Oh, that's cool.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
That seems
I don't
pretty
have it.
common these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use it as a symbol for pedophilia, though. That's actually the main reason why I use this avatar. I mean, though I do like the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's because Sweetie Belle is,
Mhm.
a filly. That's why. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Care Bears could be a symbol of pedophilia.
Care Bears can be a school.
That's old school, though.
It
My
is
Little
old school.
Pony is the new hotness.
That's true.
Yeah.
Care Bears date back to like the 80s, so
Mhm.
that's my shit.
Yep. Smart.
The My
The
Little
80s
Ponies
were
were
good.
My Little Pony started, I think, in '85.
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
old.
but
Yeah.
the only reason
Well, the new
why,
one, the Friendship is Magic one.
yeah, the only reason why Friendship is Magic versus the original MLP stuff is the reason why it gained traction from absolutely everyone is because it didn't just have little girl shit on there. That's why.
Yeah, the original one was more like selling toys, actually, than
Yeah, it's just the toys. It's like I used to even watch like Rainbow Bright, some of those cartoons like that. So they had like really interesting villains on them. Some of them like Cloud Master, the evil.
You know what's really hypocritical, right? Is 4chan is the website that like promoted Friendship is Magic, but now they hate on us because we like the show.
So they were doing it ironically, and then people actually followed it, and now they hate them.
Yeah, it's so hypocritical, really.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
We're gonna start this trend ironically, and then people actually start liking that stuff, and it's like, it's not cool anymore.
No, it's only because
I know people listen to music like that, like, oh, check out this album that nobody's heard. This is so cool. It becomes popular. Oh, it sucks.
Yep.
You pretentious bastard.
The last one I have, the one that I have is called collective morality versus minority or singularity morality.
What? I don't know what that means.
No. It's collective morality versus singular morality.
Like, okay, so like the good of the many versus the good of the one.
I don't even like that term.
Good
morality.
of the few.
I don't like the term morality. I like the term ethics. Morality just sounds too much like religious dogma.
Well,
yeah,
I think there is like technically a difference. Like ethics is more like the everyday application of it, of morality, versus like morality is more like the theoretical structure of it. You know.
Well, guess what? Guess what? We don't care about morals. We care about ethics.
Right. I think it's like better to live ethically than morally.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like morality it just has like kind of an anti-sex feel to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
well,
I don't know,
it does. You know, it has been long associated with religion. Like this is immoral behavior. You know, where
right.
Ethical is more like people who actually think about. You know,
pedos are immortal. Or wait, what? No.
Right,
immoral.
like ethics. It's like, does this cause harm?
Does this cause harm? Does this fit, with my overall philosophy?
I mean, that's how everybody should be thinking. Like, does this cause harm other than,
I try to identify like an ethical map. That's kind of
is this cultural? Like, does it matter if something's cultural? I think the harmful factor comes in better because it makes more sense.
I wish actually they had used like ethical maps instead of or ethical pedophiles instead of pedophiles. The name of the virtuous sounds like we're so better than everybody else.
Yeah, it sounds haughty.
Well, virtuous is a more sophisticated term, though.
Yeah, it is, but at the same time, it's a little bit pretentious. It's kind of like saying.
But remember, guys, there are no such thing as ethical pedophiles.
Of course there is.
Yeah. Yes, there are.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just.
You're being sarcastic, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all pedophiles are ticking time bombs and are evil and deserve.
Yeah.
Right. Mass incarceration.
The only reason why they were as ticking time bombs is because they lumped us in with psychopaths, which not all pedophiles are psychopaths.
It is interesting though, like when you don't have a community, when you are isolated and somebody says, "Oh, well, you're a pedophile, so you're, at any moment you could like molest someone." And you don't have any support socially, like it can like be harmful. Like you can start getting like really, like, oh, I guess I'm doomed to offend. I'm doomed to
start to believe it. It becomes self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
That's one of the main reasons why I do what I do, because it's like I can remember what it was like being, 16, 17, and believing that basically, my future held either suicide, jail, or whatever. I mean, it's kind of like, well, then I kind of threw myself in the other direction and tried to pretend I was somebody else for a while, but then it eventually caught up with me, and I was kind of like, I had to face it, and I'm like, I don't have to behave the way, people think I'm.
People want you to, yeah.
Yeah, they want me to behave this way. It just makes it easier for them. They don't have to think about it. Like all pedophiles are bad. They just go automatically to that, and
Yeah.
No, I'm-
That's too primitive, and that's too simple though. That's the
No,
thing.
Low level morality. That's what I'm talking about. Low level ethics.
no, Cheddar. Actually, I'm not getting help, and I don't think I need it.
Yeah, if you don't need it, then you don't need it.
I agree.
I consider myself an ethical pedophile.
Yeah.
Like I always, like, any decision I make, I always try to, ask myself, is this going to cause unnecessary harm? And is this going to be more like weigh the pros and the cons? Is it worth it? Is it, anything like that? Is it, so I think going into anything, you should always ask yourself, like, what is the potential outcome of anything? And
definitely. And then you get things where like you have one ethical one ethos that you follow butts up against another one, and that's like complex morality, that's where you start testing, and like working out what you really believe. And like most people operating at like a lot of people are operating at this very black and white level of morality. It's very basic. It's like it's simple, they don't like they're incapable of comprehending moral complexity because they just can't do it. And that's one reason why they attack us, because it's like they just can't comprehend the idea of an ethical pedophile. It's beyond their comprehension, like literally beyond their comprehension.
That's a good question in the chat. They said, I get that some pedos are good or ethical, and I get that pedos are ticking bombs. I know everyone can cause harm, but can maps/pedos cause more harm than the normal people?
No.
Yeah. Cause more harm than normal people? I mean, look,
it could go both ways, really.
And again, it has to be said again, the majority of sexual abusers are not pedophiles. There's situational offenders.
I gotta go, Bob.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Bye-bye.
Take care, man. Take care.
All right, see ya.
Take it easy, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's so many cases where like it's true abuse. It's from like situational offenders, so not even like actual pedophiles.
Right, and they account for the majority of offenders, and they're usually the worst kind because, like, first of all, it's usually a father, stepfather, somebody that has actual power over the kid, and probably living with them, and they can have, they can abuse them for years without consequences, whereas like a pedophilic offender, like they have to negotiate with the kid almost, like they almost have to be good to the kid because to get them coming back, you have to be good, you have to be nice to them, or they're just not going to come back. You have to be able to, like that. This is not advice, by the way. I'm not advising anybody on what to do here. I'm just saying, like when you.
I know that. I guess you have to clarify that, right?
Yeah, when you compare the two, like a lot of times when what you find with pedophilic offenders is that the child actually likes being with them. They come back to them again and again because the pedophile treats them like a human being. Treats them like a good person, even if they're abusing them, and even if the child doesn't necessarily like the abuse, they'll come back for other reasons. Like
I just don't like that shit. Like either way, I mean.
Well, I'm not saying it's any better. I'm just saying that if you compare the two, what you see a lot of times is that there's a difference in how kids react to it.
A lot of times though, what happens is like, the relationship between, an adult and a minor will get discovered, and like the police will, like a lot of times the kid's not even like, he doesn't think of it as like a bad thing, but the police get involved and they like, convince him, that, oh, you were like abused and everything.
Yeah, right. And maybe they didn't necessarily feel abused at the time. They were still abused, but the difference in how one uh, processes that.
Well, I'm not really in agreement with that, but that's because I'm on the opposite side of the fence.
Yeah. Well, I think. Oh, you're a pro contactor?
I prefer the term pro consent.
Pro consent. Okay. Well, all right. I'll respect that, but of course, obviously, I disagree. But I do think it can happen. I think it's possible that society makes it worse, makes the harm worse. But I don't think it's that way inherently. You know what I mean? Like, I think it can cause harm just in and of itself. And it's not a risk worth taking. And that's why I'm anti-contact.
I guess like one of the biggest harms, like is like say like I think for me like possibly one of the biggest harms would be like, you know, if the kid like kind of grows out of like the pedophile's like age of attraction, and then like, you know, and then like, you know, there's like a distance that forms between the two. And I think that can be like just kind of psychologically damaging because it's almost like a breakup in a sense, you know. And I mean, I'm not saying that like always happens, like, but sometimes like I mean, if it's not handled right and like the adult, you know, just like, you know, doesn't like interact anymore and just kind of becomes more and more distant.
Yeah.
Like that can definitely like cause like problems, you know.
Well, and that's almost inevitable. That's one of the things is like if you're, you know, if you're strictly attracted to kids, you're going to lose that attraction, and like a lot of times, like a pedophile is thinking, I'm going to transition this into a friendship, whereas for the child, like that relationship is everything. So you know, it's like
yeah.
It can go two different ways. It can be like they can either grow up and go, "Wait, you exploited me," or they go, "You know, I'm extremely hurt because you don't want to be with me anymore." Like, you know, so it can go either one.
That's the thing, really.
Yeah.
And like either way, you'll get arrested. So it's like, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean it's illegal no matter what. So you know.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, you know, in time it'll change. In time, hopefully soon, but who knows? That's up to the, you know.
Well, I honestly think no matter what, like, you know, actually doing that with a minor is pretty fucked up and pretty bad. But
yeah, I don't agree with it, but you know that's so me and Ross. And,
yeah.
I feel kind of like I'm not like I feel more on the fence about this whole issue. I'm not. I don't know. I'm starting to lean. I mean, honestly, I'm starting to lean more towards the pro side of it.
Okay.
Like I never would disparage somebody that was like anti. It's just like I'm definitely like leaning. I think it's wise to like, you know, just be celibate pretty much.
Well, I still do believe in abiding by the law.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not really like going to be like some sort of activist trying to change the law necessarily. I just think like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I kind of like look at history and stuff and like, you know, ancient Greece, and I mean, it seemed to be like, you know, part of society, and like there's histories of like loved boys and stuff, and like, you know, they turned out, from what we know, you know, it was a beneficial relationship. So I don't know. I think like it's cultural.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as somebody who, you know, is a victim of sexual abuse myself, it was not particularly traumatic to me.
I was never a victim of like sexual abuse, but I wasn't. I was a victim of physical abuse, though.
Well, so
Same thing here. My father used to check at me.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely messes with you. Like even if you're not traumatized by it, it's still impactful.
Yeah, like
and there's no denying that.
I mean, me getting physically abused is enough for me to be disturbed.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I was. I mean, I feel like I was a victim of like psychological abuse, like by like a really like psychologically abusive parents and stuff.
It's sad how.
Oh shit, my phone's on 15%.
Yeah. I'm about to get off here pretty soon, but
Right.
it's sad how many kids are actually abused in one way or another. Like
Yeah,
society,
same here. Like I feel terrible as well.
yeah, society talks about how much it cares about kids, like how much it's going to protect them and all that. But when it comes right down to it, where's the funding for it? Like they don't care. They just want to act like they're big and bad and beat up a sex offender. Like it's not real.
Yeah.
And I think they just want to
nonce.
they want to mold children into like the
Being
ideal
haters.
consumer.
Yeah.
And that's really what they care about. They want to create like another generation of like consumers.
Yeah, like they talk like some of they talk about how precious fetuses are, but once they're born, you're on
yeah,
basically.
right.
Like
Yeah, that's what I find hilarious and ironic, really.
Like now, not going to give you any health care, not going to give you anything. Like basically, you're on your own.
And they'll even like some states will even like are I mean maybe not now, but in the past they've actually like executed like kids and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They did. A long time ago they definitely did. And up until like the 1800s, even they could do it. But anyway, I'm off here, guys.
All right, Todd.
Yeah, take care, man. It's good meeting you.
Bye.
Bye, Todd. Thanks for having a good chat with us.
Yeah.
Keep up with the good YouTube videos.
Thanks.
Man. I
Okay,
love
we'll
them.
Yeah, I really like the YouTube videos, man.
Thanks. I'm glad you guys are watching.
Yeah. So yeah.
I got one.
By the way, thanks for yeah. Hey Todd, thanks for coming on this.
No problem. No problem, man. We'll do it. We'll do it again. All right, take care.
Yeah.
Peace.
We'll keep making good YouTube videos. All right, see ya.